I built a strategy that involves stealing my opponent's cards and using them against them. Introducing Carry Off. You don't want to miss this. We've got 3 key objectives for this tournament. Number 1, use Carry Off's effect to special cast him to the field and catch my opponent off guard. Number 2 is steal an opponent's Elestral and crash it into their other Elestral. And number 3, use my opponent's spirits to fuel my own cards. We play in the casual Tuesday nights every Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, and this event was our highest ever with 32 players. These events are free, laid back, and you can even bring a starter deck. So be sure to join this Tuesday the 13th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time in the Elestrals Discord server. Join our Discord. Our team can help you learn and get set up with Elestrals. Seriously, these are a ton of fun. Come join us and play every single Tuesday night. Now let's do a breakdown of our carry-off deck. This is so spicy. All right, let's break it down. We've got 3 carry-ons. This card is super cool because I can crash it into my opponent's Elestrals and steal their guys, but it also allows me to activate my carry-offs effect, which means that when carry-on goes down to battle, I can special cast out my carry-off. This is my X of 10 carry-off, by the way. Only 10 of these exist, so shout out to that. This card is incredible. This card is very epic because I can steal my opponent's Elestrals with it as well by expending 2 Lunars. So managing our Lunar Spirits are really important, but mainly we're just looking to get the combo of carry-on into carry-off. We've got 3 Rise from the Shadows. This allows me to revive my carry-off and continue to put pressure on in the game. It's just a really good card, and I think it fits very nicely into this deck. We're running 3 Hermes and 3 Spy Nymphs. These Spy Nymphs are meant to search out the Hermes, and the Hermes are meant to dump Elestrals to the underworld so I can activate my strategy. This is really key because the champion carry-on can be dumped to the underworld and then special cast out to the field, meaning that I get a free carry-on onto the field, and I can utilize my carry-off's effect. I can also dump the carry-offs champion of Hermes because this basically serves as Elestral destruction in my deck when I have Hermes on the field. So these are really powerful cards to keep my opponent at bay. And that 8 attack stat really isn't bad. A lot of Elestrals in the metagame falter to 8 attack. If you can cast this thing out and then keep it alive with Rise from the Shadows, it can be incredibly powerful. Then we've got a couple Champion Aviolets, one of the strongest cards in the Hermes toolbox, and then Hermes Trickery, which I'm hoping I can utilize to steal my opponent's cards with carry off, and then use Trickery to get rid of them and get my own Elestrals to the field. We've got a single Gloombat. I wish I had 2. That was a mistake. We got 2 Spectres here, just solid cards, especially in a Like a Void metagame. It is now banned, but at this event it was not. And then we've got Cyanectar and a couple Poison-Tipped Arrows. I was trying to figure out what I needed. I felt like the deck needed an additional starter in it, something that I could play on turn 1 to be able to generate advantage. Turns out I just expended to draw almost every game. We've got Ambrosias here, which is going to allow us to heal up. Earthquake because we're in Earth. 2 Dionysus Madness. 3 Gorgon's Gaze. And then 2 Dense Fogs. Dense Fogs are really good for Spectre support, but also they're good to just stop my opponent from doing the thing that they're trying to do. And I can steal their guy with carry off and then just play Dense Fog to get rid of them as a 1 spirit cost. So pretty simple stuff there. Our spirits are very straightforward. We've got 4 Earth, we've got 8 Lunar, and 8 Wind. So pretty straightforward lineup. You have to be really mindful of how you manage your spirits in this deck, for one, because you're going to run out of Wind or Lunar if you play it wrong. But otherwise, our goal is to get carry off to the field, steal my opponent's stuff, and keep them at bay where I can take big swings at them and control their field in a really powerful manner. All right, let's dive into the clashes. Archaic Rage is our first opponent of the night, and I start by setting off 3 back row and expending to draw. I know my deck is better when I'm reactive rather than proactive. He's got me nervous on the first turn though, because he leads it off with a Cyanectar, meaning that anything I cast is going to struggle against his poison arrows. I special cast my Gloombat to immediately turbo into my carry-off, knowing I'm about to run into a poison arrow exactly as I predicted. Carry-off only has 1 turn to make an impact, so I use its effect to steal Cyanectar, and then I use that spirit to cast my Dense Fog. His Cyanectar is gone, and I run into a Tsunami on my attack. Honestly, not a bad turn. I got rid of 2 of his back row and his Cyanectar, but his Poison-Tipped Arrow takes me out in the end phase. However, I have Rise from the Shadows ready to rock, and I bring my carry-off back into play for free. I legit think this is the best card in the game, and people should use it a lot more. Rage fires back with an Earthquake, but I have a second Rise from the Shadows to bring carry-off back again. This was one of the coolest exchanges I've had in a long time. We trade back and forth for a few turns, and he does manage to get rid of my carry-off for the 3rd time and pressure me with the insanely powerful Moss Station. This Elestral heals every turn and uses it to deal more damage. One benefit to the Hermes deck, though, is you have removal tied to your Hermes, so I'm able to send my carry-off champion to the underworld to get rid of this threat. This game is just filled with carry-off because I'm then able to use my Hermes effect to send carry-on to the underworld and ascend into carry-off champ. a threatening 8 attacker that will definitely seal the game for us. This late into the game, Rage has nothing to take on such a strong card, and we move to 1-0. We legitimately used Carry Off 5 times in our first game of the night. Talk about an epic start. Round 2 is against Breeze, and my opponent tells me he's a Chronodile enjoyer, but he has a surprise for me, so I'm excited to dive in. I reluctantly keep my hand, and he kicks things off with not 1, but 2 Nectar of the Gods, which is now banned, and you can see why. I promise this wasn't the reason I banned it though, but it's a really powerful card. His Aphros gives him even more potential draw power, and I'm forced to expend the draw. A rough start to this one. He casts Plucky to find his Water Divine, and I know I need to stop it with Gorgon's Gaze before things get out of hand. If that Aphros starts using its Nexus effect, I'm never gonna win this one. It's my go, and I know I have to make a big play. I special cast out my Gloombat and immediately ascend to Carry Off. I steal his Aphros and use its Spirit to play my own Ambrosia, a huge reverse swinging advantage. However, I may not be able to maintain this advantage for long as my opponent reveals his Typhlan, which can turbo ascend into the powerful Ivory. Fortunately for me, my counter runes were prepared with Poison Tipped Arrow and Dense Fog to stop any chance of progress in its tracks. From there, I swarm the field with Spine Imp and now Hermes to bring out Carrion from the deck and take the game. Overall, I was pretty stoked to have 2 games in a row using Carry Off in a big way, and I got to complete my 3rd objective by using my opponent's spirits to cast my own cards. Archaic tells me that they're a big water caster, so I decided it's time to leak a new card as well. Introducing Starbit, Champion of Aphrodite. A powerful new water Elestral with one of the best artworks ever that's gonna allow the Starbit strategy to be even stronger than ever before. You better watch out for Supernova. Next up is Jackals, an accomplished player and the #1 Waspivy enjoyer in the game. I think I'm number 2. He got top 16 in the Premier recently, so I know I'm in for a tough clash. He starts this off with Cyanectar, and I know the arrows are looming. I decide it's now or never on my first turn. I cast Carry On and crash it into his Cyanectar to steal it, and activate the powerful secondary effect of Carry Off to special out not 1, but 2 Carry Off to the field. Objective number 1 is complete and in a big way. I've got 2 of my most powerful cards on the field right away. Unfortunately, this insane moment is met by 2 poison-tipped arrows. So both of my carry-offs are going down at the end of the turn, but this is my chance to deal some big damage. 5 damage from my attacks and 6 damage from the PTA. That's more than half my opponent's health gone on just this turn. My opponent responds by casting a Hopperoo, and I'm in trouble. He's going to be able to start finding more and more powerful Earth cards as I struggle with an empty field. We trade back and forth, but Jackals is able to cast an Equalinx and Psyprong and finds his Dionysus, and I'm simply in trouble. My runes are toast because of Lynx's powerful Nexus effect, and my carry-offs can't exist anymore with Psyprong's removal. He got me in this one and didn't even need to use his Waspivy. I concede, scoop my cards, and I'm looking forward to round 4 to try to finish positive tonight. My final round of the night is against Tain, a super nice guy who I've had the pleasure of meeting with at a previous in-person event. However, after starting this clash off, I'm not sure he's so nice anymore, as he kicks things off with a Catarant and starts to look for Iwoolly. I'm in trouble. If he lands an Iwoolly at any point in this clash, I am probably done. That snowball effect of mounting an advantage and swarming the field is faster than anything I can keep up with, so I know that the only way I'm going to win this is if I'm able to steal his guys and crash them into each other. By the time we reach turn 3, my opponent has a Cedar Soar, Brumalinx, and a Mountains of Boreas, making all of his Elestrals even stronger. My only saving grace is his Catarant continues to miss on his Iwoolly searches, and I'm using a bluffed Shield of Achilles to prevent him from attacking. I don't actually have Shield of Achilles face down, but this is where the mind games come in. I'm able to cast out a Carrion and crash it into his Morfrost. I can steal his Morfrost and then crash that into his Cedar Soar. This completely flips the board. I managed to take out both of his Elestrals by just sacrificing my own. What a moment, and we accomplish all 3 of our objectives for the night. The mistake, however, that I make right now is that I don't switch my Spine Imp and Aviolith to attack. That's an extra 3 points of spirit damage, which proved to be big as we head into our final few turns. Tain responds with double Morfrost Chimera again, and I know I've got one way to win this and one way only. I need Carry Off to come down, I need to steal that Morfrost, and I need to have them crash again. I make my move. Carry Off hits the field and uses his life-stealing energy to steal the Morfrost to seal the game. But I'm met with a Blizzard Whiteout, which negates our stealing effect. Carry Off can't see anything in this storm, and we're forced into darkness and scoop the game. GG's to Tain. Overall, we finished this week's casual at 2-2, and I had a ton of fun meeting all my objectives with my carry-off deck. I hope to see you this Tuesday and every Tuesday thereafter as we try to hit 50 casual players for a free Casual Tuesday. Remember, you can bring a starter deck if you want, I'm bringing Phosphocyl this week, one of my absolute favorite cards, my #1 card of my collection. I'm bringing this thing in a big way, so be ready. Thanks so much for watching this one. I'll see you guys on Tuesday.